I fire Howie. Fucking fire him. Motherfucker! Stupid motherfucker! What an idiot! What an idiot! Dallas has Amari Cooper and Gallup, but we don't need a receiver. Are you kidding me? I don't want Justin Jefferson. He's ass. He's stupid. I fire his ass. I fire his ass. I mean, Howie's got to be stupid. What are you doing? You just let Dallas take him.
Well, good evening, friends. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Jobu Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. I hope that I hit the record button and not the go live button, because they're side by side, and the last couple of days I've kind of hit the wrong button, and I'm thinking I'm recording a video, and it's actually live. I've got mental issues here. I'm getting old and so on. But we have some interesting news. The Philadelphia Eagles believe that they are going to be signing the Honey Badger, and they are as excited as can be. They are going crazy. And if you actually go to Twitter, if we go to Twitter and start looking, of course, we're seeing, of course, pictures and images of the Honey Badger, in Eagles, Kelly Green, or I'm sorry, it's not Kelly Green, but that's whatever. It's puke green. And you look at this, Trey Wingo 17 minutes ago, who's going to sign? Okay, that's going to be, he's saying the Rams. Okay, forget that one. But by this time tomorrow, Tyrann Mathieu will be a Philadelphia Eagle, fly Eagle Phi. I'm legit sitting here refreshing Twitter every few seconds, hoping to see breaking. Tyrann Mathieu signs with the Eagles. Here it is. You just keep going down there. Breaking, the Eagles are extremely close to a deal with safety Tyrann Mathieu. That was yesterday, 21 hours ago, and so on. So you go down through there and you say, okay, for us Cowboy fans, we got to look at this and, boy, is this getting white. Jeez. This must be the Jerry Jones is aging me look. But anyway, you have to say, do we need to be scared of the Eagles? Eagles have all the draft picks and everything else, and they're collecting talent and stuff. And, I am a guy that likes to look back in history. History. And I want to bring a blast from the past back here, because I don't know if you guys remember the Dream Team.
What about the pieces of this team has added in just the past few days?
Oh, Dream Team.
Really?
No.
Really?
From Nande to Camardi, from Jason to myself,
Really? Really? Really?
I know they're going to do some more things. It's just beautiful.
Really? Really? Really?
Oh, boy. That was an interesting year, because, they went out and they got, the most underrated cornerback that was thought that out there in Nnamdi Asomugha. They ended up getting, of course, himself as well as other players. And everybody said, oh, my God, these Eagles, man, they're collecting all this talent, And it's funny because a lot of times, and this is maybe this is me trying to justify the fact that the Cowboys haven't gone out and signed a whole bunch of players. But a lot of times what happens is you get the excitement of all this. You got Colin Cowherd doing his top 10 teams since free agency. And there's all the hype and everything else of all these new players that are going around. But the reality is a lot of them get a big fat paycheck and they end up not being as good as you thought for a multitude of reasons. It may be that they were a system guy and your system is different than what they were with. Or maybe there were other great players around them that were, helping to make them achieve more. And now that they're at your team, they don't have those players around. So all of a sudden the numbers go down. And so you start thinking about this, and we can go through with a lot of different examples. For example, this is actually This is going to be painful for the Eagles, okay? This is going to be painful. But it's funny because some of the most recent ones that you look at and say, wow, they don't even make the list for Eagles. But I just want to go through, this is an article from about 2 years ago, of some of the bad free agent moves that the Eagles made at the time they thought were great. Offensive lineman Stacey Andrews. On a day when Brian Dawkins signed with the Broncos, the Eagles signed a disinterested veteran offensive guard named Stacey Andrews from the Bengals and gave him a 6-year, $38 million contract. Andrews' older brother of Sean Andrews started only 2 games before the Eagles gave up on him. Wow. So he ended up making $9.5 million for 2 starts. Defensive end Tim Harris. Eagles tried to soften the blow of losing Reggie White to the Packers after the 92 season by signing Tim Harris, who had 17 sacks the year before for the 49ers. Had 17. That's a lot. But Harris was a disaster. He played in just 3 games as an Eagle, netting 0 sacks and just 6 tackles. He pocketed more than $2 million for that production and was gone by the end of the year. We all remember they got DeMarco Murray. Had we kept DeMarco Murray, we wouldn't have had the compensatory pick that we ended up getting Dak Prescott with. So some of y'all will say, well, damn, we really screwed up because I know how much you hate Dak. What was worse, Chip Kelly's decision to trade away Shady McCoy or his decision to replace him with DeMarco Murray? The former Cowboys got a 5-year, $40 million deal from the Eagles, but averaged only 3.6 yards per carry in 2015, the lowest rushing average by an Eagle back with at least 170 carries since Keith Byers in 86. Wow. Shall I go on? Okay. Cornerback Brian Maxwell. The Eagles thought they were getting one of the best cornerbacks in the NFL when they signed Byron Maxwell to a 6-year, $63 million contract. Turns out they got a bust. Maxwell looked overmatched in his first practice of training camp until the Eagles shipped him out to the Dolphins the next year. His play was terrible, which was bad enough, but never seemed to bother him a whole lot, which was even worse. Demetrius Bell. Damn. The Eagles gave Bell a 5-year, $35 million contract to replace Jason Peters in 2012. The results was disastrous. Bell struggled through his 5 starts before losing his job to King Dunlap. And Dunlap was a bust him damn self. He played 3 snaps when Dunlap briefly left in late November Monday night game for the Panthers at Lincoln. Never played another snap. Steve Wallace, another offensive lineman. The Eagles signed 49ers Pro Bowl left tackle Steve Wallace to a 1-year, $1 million deal for the 96 season, but he was so bad, one assistant coach said after the preseason game, it looks like the damn fix was in. He didn't even make it through training camp. That's kind of like, haha, dicks for us. Namdi, and I got to say, Namdi did a lot of things in the community and stuff, and I ain't mad at him for stealing money from the Eagles. When the Eagles inked Namdi Asamoah to a 5-year, $60 deal before the 2011 season, they got a guy in the prime of his career coming off 3 straight first-team All-Pros. Well, that's what they thought. In reality, they got a guy who had lost a step and was at the end of the line. He lasted 2 seasons in Philadelphia and was out of football a year later. Steve Wallace. 2 years earlier, Steve Wallace caught 107 passes in a Pro Bowl season for the Giants. So when they signed him to a 1-year, $4 million contract, they thought they were going to get a lot. They got 11 catches for 124 yards. Chris Bonio. He was the most accurate kicker in NFL history at 87.1% when the Eagles stole him away from the Cowboys in 96. At $2.4 million. Since 97, the least accurate kicker in the NFL. It's kind of like they go to crap. Giovanni and Curse. This is another bad one. The same day the Eagles acquired Terrell Owens, they signed Giovanni and Curse to an 8-year, $65 million contract with $16 million guaranteed. That made him the highest paid defensive lineman in history. Curse who had 47 sacks in 4 seasons with the Titan. Wasn't a disaster, but he never recorded more than 7.5. So I can also add into this, as we're going through. I remember when they hired Big Play Slay, and he's been okay. He's not fantastic by any stretch of the imagination. And but he's not great. This is kind of like the Brandon Carr signing for us. Brandon Carr stayed healthy, didn't get a lot of interceptions and stuff like that. But here's the thing with Big Play Slay. They restructured his contract last year to give him some cap relief, so that way his cap number is only 6.6. This year it's $10 million. The problem for them is the following year it's a $26 million hit. And if you got rid of him this year, which they won't because they can't afford to, this is like Zeke Elliott. It's $31 million. They literally are married to him for the next year too, because at $26 million, he's a $21 million dead money hit. So am I scared if the Eagles sign Tyrann Mathieu? Well, he is an older player. He does have a lot of miles on him. And the track record that the Eagles have with signing free agents actually starts to make you think maybe Stephen Jones has something right to this. Maybe we are, as fans, panicking too much, and really, maybe Stephen Jones is right. See you guys tonight.
Oh, big run. Oh, he fumbled. Oh, he fumbled. Shit.
He's still.
Oh, he. Oh, Slay.
Oh, might be what Philly is.
Now he's about to lose his mind.
He hasn't seen the play yet.
Please tell me why he